Hey there, it's been a while. I'm Rahul, and today we're going to be looking at the Silver Tempest English set list now that we finally have it. Silver Tempest is going to make up our first tournament, our first international tournament over in Brazil in Sao Paulo, and we'll see top players bring cards from the Silver Tempest set. I think pre-releases have already begun. Last weekend they kicked off, giving us a good indication of what's in the set, what's going on, and what's missing. So this will make up, it's a 246 card set, which is pretty big. And it will have a decent amount of impactful cards in it, I think, and we'll talk about those today. I'm going to just review the set for you guys, and whatever cards don't get into this, we'll have in our little mini set that's coming up in January, I believe, it's called V-Star Universe in Japan. I don't know what it is in English. I actually didn't see it, but yeah, we'll go through the set and see if there's stuff you guys need. And if you guys are interested, by the way, please like and subscribe for the content. And tomorrow, whenever you're watching this, there will be a video in about 24 hours where I will be talking about my buy list if you're a competitive player and what cards to buy. I'm not a collector. I don't really know collector stuff, like speculations on collecting stuff, but I will tell you guys competitive cards to purchase, what I'll be purchasing heading into LAIC, Latin American Intercontinentals, and what cards are good in that vacuum. So we've got Svetanat and the Venomoth. The Venomoth has a Miracle Powder attack, flip a coin of heads, choose a special condition. It's not good for a stage 1. It's pretty mediocre. Now, we actually get a pretty interesting card early on, which is this Ariados, which has this ability, String of Shade. As long as this Pokemon is in play, the attacks of your opponent's Pokemon V-Star Pokemon cost a colorless more. Now, this could be the difference between an Arceus attacking for 3 or 4, or, I don't know, Palkia attacking for an extra energy, and I think that could really do something. Now the problem is obviously it's a 1 cost or a stage 1 Pokemon, but it's got to have some feasibility in some form of a control deck, I think, and that's where this can really do some damage, I think. I'm not good enough to do control, but I think there is a control strategy out there. Sunflora with Brilliant Beam has 10 plus 30 or 70 for each card discarded from your hand. This seems pretty sick for some twin energies and stuff, but it is a stage 1, so it will take some setup. We have our first V card immediately, which is Superior, with Noble Light, heal 30 for all your guys, and then Grass Colors 120, nothing to write home about. Pretty mid. And then we have Superior, Grass Colors 190, move any amount of energy from your Pokemon to anyone and other you like. Interesting, 190 is a good number because with Choice Belt you hit 220, which does knock out most V Pokemon, so you're already in a decent spot, but with the double colorless requirement, you're probably attaching a double turbo, which then, or not double turbo, whatever the energy is that reduces your damage output, so maybe it's good, maybe it's not, who knows. Coiling Star, 60x, each energy attached to this Pokemon. If it was not this Pokemon, maybe it was all your Pokemon in play, or maybe it was like 40x all your Pokemon in play, or even 60x. I don't know. Just attached to this one means you're sinking a lot of effort into this card to take 1 knockout and then immediately get responded into, and you're not even like getting a 1-shot on the following turn like Tina can with Star Requiem, and then its attack. So I think it's just not. I don't think it's up to. I don't think it's up to par. We have Petalil and Hisuian Lilligant. Switch your deck for up to 2 grass attached to your bench Pokemon any way you like, then shuffle your deck. Fungus and then Amoonguss. Amoonguss usually has some sort of status condition effect, so let's see what it is. Prank Spores, whenever this card is discarded from your hand by the effect of your opponent's Pokemon attacks or abilities, or by the effect of your opponent's item card or supporter card, discard all cards from your opponent's hand. Interesting, but it's like a clear counter to maybe like Control. I don't know. This just feels like you need a lot to do what you need to do, and I don't think it's good. It's cute, though. Durant is not very good here. The Virizion has the 4/1 attack when you have the Koba, Terra, and Keldeo on your bench. It does 70 more damage, 20 plus 70. I like that kind of a dynamic, but I think 90 damage is just not enough for a combo of 4 cards, especially. Spiky Striker, whenever Chestnut is in play and is damaged, put 3 damage counters in the active Pokemon. Grass Colorless, 130, heal 30 is unfortunately not enough, I think, to do anything. This is going to be a binder card or like a tin card. I don't know. It's not leaving your binder. It's not leaving the bulk box of these. Radiant Serena heals 20 from each of your Pokemon. I don't think healing is necessarily good right now. There could be a deck that operates off of using Serena for healing. I just don't think right now there is a card or a deck that does that. But eventually maybe. Ninetales. This Ninetales doesn't have an ability. Usually Ninetales come with an ability. This one does not have one, so nothing to write home about. Growlithe, Arcanine. This does have 100 for 100 if they're a V, but it is fire, colorless, and there's no fire acceleration right now, so I don't think this can be played. Heat Boot. Oh, there. Oh, no, never mind. This is an acceleration. Rapidash is, once during your turn, you may discard a fire. If you do, your fire do 30 more damage. I don't think there's enough fire Pokemon or like a fire strategy that justifies getting a plus 30 for a 3-card investment, which is putting the Rapidash in play as well as discarding a fire, which is, it's a lot. It's a lot. Victini gets 2 fire and puts them into your board. Pretty good. But 20 damage is not good, and 70 HP is not good. If it had free retreat, maybe, actually, but no, it doesn't. Rush from V, Gleaming Wings, 2 basic energy from your deck, attach them to your Pokemon anyway. A really weak attack for V Pokemon, but yeah. White Blaze, 200 flip of coins. If Tails, you can't attack next turn. That's a terrible downside. 200 is not enough damage, and Fire Colors, I don't think, cuts it, especially Water being as strong as it is. Another bulk Binder Barn card. Binder, whatever, you guys know what I'm trying to say. Breaks Fennekin, Combuskin. This is the cool like line, I think, where like this one gets a supporter, this one is 60x each Serena in your discard pile, and this one is for 1 color 60 each Serena in your discard pile. Serena being a very good card, so this Delphox deck could be a budget stage 1 or stage 2, sorry, deck that you can play with a heavy Serena count, and then Energy Crush is a good counter for decks that can put a lot of energy into play or like want to put a lot of energy into play. Fletchinder and Talonflame do not do anything here. Yeah, I think this is pretty weak. You got the Litten. I like the arts on this, where the Torracat, I've seen these before, where he's trying to eat the fish, and now the big cat is sleeping, and the fishes are just chilling. These are pretty bad, but Secret Attack can copy one of these attacks, so Greedy Claws would say that if you're about to be knocked out, its remaining HP becomes 10, so you can Greedy Claws to start off, and then you can, I guess, Flare, and then you can Reprisal for 20x each damage counter, but you're literally setting up a 2-turn thing on a stage 2, so it's got to be really, really good, and I don't think that's really, really good, unfortunately. So that's the trade-off between stage 2s. When you look at a stage 2 or a stage 1, stage 2s take a lot more effort to set up, so it's got to be really good, because your deck eats up so many slots for the stage 2 setup, and that's why you have to have your stage 2s be really good. If not, they're not really worth the slots ever. Alolan Vulpix V, this one's the one where it says 10 plus 50 if they're a V, and then Frost Smash. So this is okay, I think. The V-Star is what's actually decent here. 160, and then the attack's damage is not affected by, it's not affected by any effects on your opponent's active, so it's shredding, and during your next turn, you prevent all damage done to this Pokemon from Pokemon with abilities, but I think Escape Rope is very prevalent in the format right now, and I think, with Serena being so prevalent as well, people are going to be able to boss around this very easily, and Silver Snowstar is good at punishing your opponent, but 70x for V Pokemon, I don't think most decks will have more than 3 V Pokemon down. That's not Mew V Max. So I think you're swinging for 210 at best. So it's a very mediocre V-Star power, but you can, I guess, punish some situations. Omastar V is the fossil guy, brings the fossils out. So if there's ever a fossil strategy, you're going to probably end up playing this guy. But I think a 2-prizer in a fossil deck is also counterintuitive, because a lot of the time the fossils are so good because they are 1-prizers and they don't give up anything else in return. And the attack is pretty poor. Articuno here is not very good. Whelmer has Gurgle with all the little guys around. Okay. Wailord is oversized, 30 less from opponent's attacks. 200 HP on a stage 1, holy moly. 120 plus 120 if they have special energy. If this Pokemon has special energy, okay. Feebas has Ascension, so it does go into a Milotic pretty easily, but the Milotic does not do anything. It's just a 50 snipe, and then 60 and this Pokemon. Your opponent's active is asleep, which is just... These cards are just not good. Glalie has for 4 colorless, 130 plus 130 if you played Candace this turn. Like, that's not bad damage. I don't know what Candace does again because I keep forgetting. I've seen it. I know I have. But for 4 colorless, that's so bad. That's so bad. Frostlass is 20 plus 90, and they're paralyzed if you played Candace this turn from your hand. So that one seems more reasonable for 1 water. You put them in Frost Jail. 110 in their para. Not bad. Not bad. It's just really annoying. The Relicanth brings back fossils. So you have another fossil strategy here, another fossil card. So maybe fossils get some more support. But also we're about to see new mechanics in Scarlet and Violet. So this is the end of the block. So this is like we're at the end of something getting support. V-Stars getting support. V-Maxes getting support. Like, these are all gone. See ya. Later. The Beach Party is 3 basic waters. Put them onto your bench. It's just setup, I guess, but there's no deck that needs that. It's just another call. It's another call for Familiar. So it could be like a 5th Sobble, I guess, technically. Another Keldeo is the 4 is 1. Koba Terra Vera. 50 plus 170, which is not bad, but for 3, that's actually not bad on a stage 1, or basic, sorry. But it's got to be like a Raihan engine with all these different typings you need. Or like special energy, I don't know. Something. Aurora, maybe. I don't know. 20 paralyzed and discard energy. Not bad on the Araquanid. There is I've seen the Raichu. The Raichu is Ambushing Spark 40 plus 100 if they use their V-Star power, which is a just clean 140. This card probably can see play, I think. Especially with the Dede shorts and all that stuff with the Pika Strike. Because if you go Dede short, Pika Strike, that's 200 damage. That's pretty crazy. So I think this Raichu can see play for sure. This Lantern is bulk. This Rotom is bulk. Emolga does get an item from your hand, so this can be pretty decent in like a cube format, but I don't think this is like good for competitive. Mysterious Bolt is interesting because you can only use it if you have no supporters in your discard. 100 to one of your opponent's Pokemon for 3. A lot of heavy cost, but the fact that the mechanic is just cool because we've never had a card, or like in recent memory, haven't had a card that can only work if you have no X of a card in your discard. This Zeraora is worse than the ones we already have. And here we have Reginald LAKEY, one of my good friends, Reginald. 100 less next turn, but Mr. LAKEY VMAX is the one we want to care about. Transistor lets you do 30 more to your opponent's active from your basic Lightnings. And Transistor does stack, so that's the instant card that Vikavolt V might have needed for the last couple days until it kind of rotates. And Max Thunderstrike is 220, and this Pokemon can't attack. So it is another way to clean up if you're able to play, like, get the energies on board. Because Vikavolt does require 2 Lightnings and a colorless, and this one's a Lightning and double colorless and does more damage. So you can actually just Melanie. If you have like a turn where you want to Melanie an energy somewhere, this is a great place to Melanie it and just set up to go ahead and use that Max Thunderstrike. But however, the Transistor ability won't affect this. But Reginald LAKEY can be played now with this heavy Melanie focused Vikavolt list, and I'll show you why it's better because there is a really cool card in this set that makes it all come together. Rain and Alakazam, Spoonful of Pain. Once during your turn, you may move up to 2 damage counters from one of your opponents to another 1. So if there was more spread strategies, this would be really good. Because I think Mind Ruler is also a really good attack for something like this. But I don't think there's any viable spread strategies right now. Everything just 2-shots each other or 1-shots each other. So the format's way too quick for these like cheeky strategies. Maybe things change after rotation, but some of these powerful cards like Palkia, Lugia, Arceus, Mew will all still be around. So the whole like everyone just 1-shotting each other or 2-shotting each other, that doesn't change, unfortunately, I think. Hypno can pull 2 stage 1s out of your deck. Good for control, maybe. I don't know if you want to attack like that. Maybe you want a different attack that just stops your opponent from playing the game. Selfish Lips, if you're knocked out, they don't take a prize card, which is cool, but the attack is just not good. Maybe for a spread, like Selfish Lips, that's 10 more damage counters. So it's a potential spread card in the future. Just keep an eye on it. If they're knocked out from an attack at max HP, put 8 damage counters. That's a pretty heavy investment for a 1-prizer, in my opinion, and 8 damage counters doesn't do anything, it just tickles. Ominous Singing does place 2 on the board, so I guess you're EVing 10 at that point and spreading. So this is like technically your spread strategy with them as Magius, but it's pretty weak, I think. I think it had to be, I think if this was 3, or this was like 12 or something, it'd be better. These are both just like piss poor numbers that can't do anything, in my opinion. If you have 1 prize card left, you win with the victory symbol, it's cute. And then this guy, I've talked about the Unknown V-Star in length. I think the fact that it's only until this Pokemon leaves play they have Psychic is not good, because if it was maybe like it just became like a stadium effect like ADP, it'd be a lot better because you can actually build something around the Unknown V-Star. But if you're using your V-Star and immediately getting knocked out, it's just so worthless in my opinion. And it's an attack, not even an ability. It's like if it was an ability while it's in play, sure, it makes sense. Or if it's an attack that lasts for the game, makes sense. But this is just so weak in terms of what it's supposed to do. The Kirlia, I think this is a pre-release promo, which is weird. It has trade, discard 1, draw 2, and so does the Gardevoir. This is the pre-release promo. I do remember seeing this. I haven't bought my kits yet, but yeah. Oh, I do pack openings on my other channel down south, and maybe I do them here. I don't know. It's usually when I'm in the mood to film a pack opening because I just like to open stuff like while watching like a Netflix show or something. So yeah, Mawile V-Star got Star Rondo. If it moves from the bench to the active, you do 180, which is not bad for a double colorless. Pretty solid damage. I don't think anything important is weak to Psychic, so if it was with a choice belt, you could probably pop something very important. And then Star Rondo is it's an ability, switch this Pokemon with your active, and then you pull their active. So you're basically bossing and having the ability to hit with Sudden Eater, or you can boss and then like Balloon or something and retreat out. It's a cross switcher. So I think it's cool to have a boss effect on an ability. So maybe this card could see some play. I think that there's potential for it to sneak into decks. Open Chakras 4 in hand, 3 less, and Eager Kick to do 80 plus 90, which is 170 if they have a VMAX. I don't think decks play VMAX as much anymore. There's a lot of V-Stars. So we're doing a lot of things to do 80 damage effectively, like on average. So I don't think this meta champ is very good. We're doing a lot of work for very little. This is funny, which is like search your deck for Pokemon. But if they have a V, you just get 5 and throw them onto your bench. Just set up all in one turn. But I think it's just a wasted attack if you're doing that a lot of the time. There is a Reuniclus in this set and has an ability. If this Pokemon is knocked out from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, put it into your hand instead of your discard pile. But there's no like on evolve ability, which just makes this Reuniclus kind of weird to have all that going for it. But I don't like it's just 60 plus 30 for damage counters. But again, it's part of the spread strategy. But a stage 2 card in a spread deck is also eating up so much space. Syro 60 to 1 Pokemon. Sorry, excuse me. Meowstic has, when you evolve, you can get 2 supporters and put them into your hand. That's actually pretty good. I think the Meowstic could see play, especially for control, because, oh no, you have to actually evolve it. So maybe not. Maybe you play like a light Meowstic line to guarantee your supporters after you Palpad them, because you might need to keep like some sort of infinite loop going, and then you can net up the Meowstic, put the Esper back down in the same turn, set up the loop perfectly, tuck some more cards, Silene some more back, like do the whole strategy in a way. So Meowstic does seem like a control card off the top of my head to me, especially with Scoop Up Net in the format. So I think while Scoop Up Net is there, this Meowstic can see play. Slurpuff is not great. The Dedenne has the Dede short we were talking about with the Pikachu earlier, but you have to use Togamaru Toga Dash the turn before, and it's 60 para, which is very annoying to deal with for some decks. Even though there's a lot of switching cards, they have to have it on tap. This is a cool like idea. Go first, use it first, get any one card, put it in your hand, but you have to do a lot of things all at once to use this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this. It's cool though, in a way. Dragapult has Dragon Launcher, which discards your GPs to do 100 snipe each way. So you can discard 3 GPs, but you're probably discarding 2 at most because you don't want your Dragapult to get knocked out and have no follow-up GP. But you're basically just discarding GPs to just like shotgun down something. Or you could probably play like maybe like a heavier Drakloak line or like Zoroarks and Drakloaks. I don't know. Like there's probably a way you can do 400 damage with the Dragapults, which is crazy. You don't need to do that. You just need 300, but there's a way, I think. And you can just like carrier them back. Crazy. Cool. Irresistible Force with Arcanine is moving the fightings from your board to this Pokemon, and then 90 plus 30 for each fighting attached to this Pokemon. Kind of a like Heatran-esque effect. It's just like not that much damage, because you got to move 4 probably to attack. Yeah, so you're doing 210 for 4, which is pretty bad. So I don't like this card, and I don't think fighting is very good right now, or has like good acceleration either. Overspin 110. If they evolved, you do nothing this turn. That's depressing. Baltoys Find a Friend. And then also there's another effect with the no supporter in your discard pile. If you have no supporters, you can accelerate a fighting from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. So you can play this like fighting, like turbo, I guess, with shoes and pickaxes and stuff like that. But I don't know if it's necessarily good. Seems like a very heavy investment for something that's very mediocre. This is why the fossil cards exist, because you can bring the Anorith out and you can start pitching fossils for 150. And then if they have 100 or less, you just go to the Armaldo and knock them out. Makes sense. Easy. This could be a funny deck. I don't think it's good, but it could be really funny. And then we have the track gun. This one's harder to pull off because it's 2 fightings. But this doesn't have the effect of having the 4 guys in play. The other deer, I believe they are. So, yeah. Halucha just draw 2, and then pretty bad. Sandygast. 30 spread here, which is not bad. Obviously, you have to deal with Manaphy. But if you can do that, then this could be decent for your spread die. Another, if you have no supporters in your discard pile, 130 more, 60 plus 130, 190 total of fighting double colorless. But you have to have no supporters. Again, caveat, but you can play this with your Claydol deck, and then you can just, I guess, go into your Arcanine if this guy survives. I think it never survives, but you know. Ursaluna is 30 less, and then Peach Shoulder, 3 fighting, 220, minus 10 for each damage count of this Pokemon. So I guess you could go into the Ursaluna with the Claydol, do 220, do a ton of damage, and then pivot into like the Arcanine, do a ton of damage with the Arcanine. I don't think there's a way to heal this guy, but you maybe Thornton it. I don't know. Thornton you still die on Thornton. I don't. If there's a way to heal it properly, this could be really cool. Yeah. Zubat, Golbat, and then this one is 30, just a 30 snipe, and if you do kill something, you take 2 prizes. So this could be take 2 more prizes. Oh, so you can take a net 3. Okay, this could be really cool in spread. Set up the spread exactly how you want it. Go with the critical bite, take 3 prize cards out of nowhere, or take all 6 of your prize cards. Maybe not in 1 turn, but you can set it up over 2 turns. This is really cool. I like this. Murkrow gets the Murkrows, okay, called family, and then 120 with the Hunchcrow, and switch to the Murkrow. Not good. Skunk Tank is Honing Bomb, 30. It's on your bench. Pokemon, if they retreat it, does 120 more. I don't really see how that's relevant. There's a lot of like resetting effects. I don't know. Just not good, I think. Shrieking Poison, Dark Colorless, 90, and they're confused and poisoned. This is definitely a binder card. I don't think it's ever seen the light of day for competitive play. Yeah. Upward Rival, 120, then they take 50 more damage. Not bad. The Toxicroak is dying anyway, so you're trading the 50. If it was more damage, maybe it'd be cooler, but I think 120 is just not enough. Croc, 60. If heads, discard energy. Nothing good. Sand Gang, that's a sick ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand evolve, if they're knocked out, then you can discard a random card from your opponent's hand. That's cool for like control purposes, but I think it's very difficult to pull off something around it because the attack is not very good. But you can Sand Gang to discard cards, which is pretty good. Venom Shock if they're poisoned. I guess you can use Drapion V-Star, Hisuian Sleazer, stuff like that to poison. Yeah. Morpeko is the Peko Bomber one. 60 to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon if they use Dead Short. This kind of tandems into your spread strategy, but I think you have to put a lot of cards in at that point if you're doing that. So maybe not the best. Metagross Urgent Entry, if you draw it and your bench is full, put it in your bench. Draw 3, that's pretty good. But the Meteor Match attack is not very good, which is what the problem is. So it's like, yeah, you can get this guy into play for free and cheat him out, but like this is pretty bad. Radiant Jirachi is Pass a Wish. If it's knocked out, get 3 cards, put them in your hand, which is pretty good. But this first attack is a double coin flip. If double heads, they're knocked out, which is funny. I would play this deck. You could build a whole deck around Radiant Jirachi and like just go for flips and like get them. Try it, see how it goes. This is pretty bad. The Clink Clang and the Clink Clang. If you evolve, you may search for 3 basic and attach them to your board. That's okay, but on a stage 2, that's really, really, really hefty, I think. Here's the Cobalion, part of the whole trio that we needed to attack. You're 30 more damage to active Dark type Pokemon, and then backup is 30. Choose to accelerate energy from your deck. But there's no good Dark type decks right now besides Eternatus maybe making a comeback. I don't know. This is pretty bad. The Cobalion. Togedemaru is the Togedash, which is funny. If you hit heads, they can't take prizes. That's pretty cute. Magearna has Gear Throw 30 to one of your opponents to snipe 100 plus 120. If this Pokemon has special energy, so maybe like a toolbox idea, go to 220. That's it. Okay, this is not very good. Not very strong. This Dragonite is actually very strong. I think this Dragonite with the Water Lightning double colorless 180. Search your deck for 3 basic and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle your deck is strong, not because of the Dragonite on a stage 2. It's because Regidrago V-Star can copy attacks of Dragon Pokemon in your discard pile. So by putting this Dragonite in your discard pile and using Energy Hurricane, you do 180 like a Trinity Nova would and power up your board all in one fell swoop. And also you have this Noivern, which has Radiant Hunt, and you choose the Radiant Pokemon and it just takes it out, which I think is also really good because sometimes you're like, hey, I got to get that Greninja, but I don't want to waste a boss. And if decks are playing Serenas now, like Regidrago, maybe you want a Noivern. So good idea there. Zygarde gets a basic energy. Not great. So here's the Regidrago as we talked about this guy. Just now I mentioned him. Regidrago has Grass, Fire. Choose an attack from a Dragon-type Pokemon in your discard pile and use it. I think you have to fulfill all conditions of the attack besides the energy cost. So pretty good there. And the V-Star lets you discard the top 7 and put 2 cards into your hand from the top 7, and the rest go to the discard. I think you have to reveal. So you like, I guess, flip the top 7, take 2, and 5 go to the discard, which helps you accelerate into that Dragon's Dream, because you're probably going to research into Legacy Star, giving you 14 cards deeper into your deck, putting maybe 12 cards into the discard on top of that, plus like Ultra Balls and Quick Balls or whatever, So I think the idea is there. I think the deck is not going to be very good, but it's something I'm going to try to make work. Smeargle is look at the top 5. Basic energy, put him on 1 Pokemon. Not great. If it was your board, maybe, but yeah. Lugia is one of the better cards in this set. Lugia says for 4 colorless, 220, you may discard a stadium in play. Now, that's not why Lugia is good. Lugia is really good because of Assemble Star V-Star. Once during your turn, just flip the V-Star counter, get up to 2 colorless Pokemon that have no rule box, meaning Barrel, Archeops, some of these setup cards, I don't know, Dunsparce, Bring It Back, something like that. And you put them on your bench, and that's it. Now let's go to Archeops so I can show you guys why that's pretty broken. Ho-Oh with Rebirth Flames, you can put it back on your bench with 4 energies, but your turn ends. That's why Ho-Oh was not good. It has the same Ho-Oh attacks, which is multiple energies, more damage, good on Ho-Oh effects, but your turn ends putting it into play, so not very good. Hula Spin, nothing crazy. This Altaria could be good if you're playing a healing style deck. Move all damage counters from one of your bench Pokemon to your opponent's active. So if you're playing some sort of big beefy like Goodra, Duraludon, something like that, and you just go into the Altaria, move all your damage counters, and then you're like, hey, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. But I don't know what deck would be good in right now. We have the Baneri and the Lopunny. Not very good. Here's the Archeops. This guy is really good. Primal Turbo. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 special energy cards and attach them to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. Now with 2 Archeops, you can basically set up a Lugia right immediately, and then I don't know, it's just pretty good. It's pretty crazy. You can get this guy out with the Lugia, so I think this is very strong in terms of what it's supposed to do. But it immediately creates an archetype that's very powerful, Lugia Archeops. So keep your eyes on that, guys, for Brazil. Hisuian Braviary puts 3 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon for stage 1. Not bad, but again, the spread strategy has to all come together somewhere, and I don't know where that selling point is. Now, what are our trainer supporters? Last card in your hand, Brandon. It's okay, but it's like the draw effect is like not the best. Candace is the top 7. Reveal any water and water energy. Put them in your hand. Water Pokemon and energy. Sorry, that's actually a decent card, especially with the Frost Slash strategy we talked about. But the thing is, what other water Pokemon are really good to make it really good? Capture Aroma. If Heads, search for an evolution Pokemon, reveal it and put it in your hands. If Tails, search for a basic Pokemon, reveal it and put it in your hand. I don't know, like, if that's good. It feels okay. But the question is, like, when are we like, I don't care what I get here. We're usually like, I really want it to be an evolution Pokemon, or I really want it to be a basic. But I'm never like, well, I just want to pull a card out of my deck. Let's flip. Like, I don't know. I don't get that. Maybe there's a world. I don't know. Earth and Seal Stone. This is one of the cooler cards in the set. When it's attached, it gives your Pokemon a V-Star power. It has to be attached to a V Pokemon, I believe. It gives your Pokemon a V-Star power, and with 3 energy, you can put damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon V until they have 100 HP remaining. Could be really cool for spread strategies. Could be really cool for like Urshifu or some sort of sniping strategy. I don't know. It seems interesting. 3 energy is pretty hefty, but it could be a really cool card. Yeah. Emergency Jelly heals 120 for something that is 30 or less. So it's a good healing card for some of these tankier decks that we have, like Goodra, Duraludon, etc. You can go Jelly into Hyper Potion, whatever, all in one turn, and all of a sudden you healed a ton of damage without having to get rid of energies. Now, this is one of the better cards, if not one of the best. I'm going to go as far as say it's the best card in this set. Forest Seal Stone gives another one of these Pokemon Tool V-Star powers, and now this gives your Pokemon Star Alchemy, and what Star Alchemy says is it's just a Starbirth, but it's in half. So you get 1 card and just put it in your hand. Now, these stones do work under Path to the Peak, so yeah. So Mew is going to obviously start playing this Forest Steel Stone to just put themselves in a position where Path to the Peak does not lose them the game. And this can also go into that Vikavolt deck like we talked about. Maybe it goes into some unorthodox decks as well that don't typically use their V-Star powers if they're winning the game or something. I don't know. But it's crazy. I think it opens up the options for a lot of stuff. Forest Sode Girl is basic, and then switch with your active. Not very good. Gym Trainers draw 2. If they're knocked out, draw 2 more. Not very good. Lances 3 Dragon types, which could be really good for the Rich Drago deck. Maybe Adventurer's Discovery is better. Maybe not. I don't know. I have to see. Like, Lance might just be better. Leafy Camo Pouch is one of those cards I think is also very good. If this Pokemon is attached to a V-Star, or if if the Pokemon this card is attached to is a V-Star or a V-Max, when your opponent plays a supporter card, prevent all effects of that card done to this Pokemon. So no Serena, no Boss, whatever, you know. It could be really good to just hide your one big threat until it's ready to come out. That also being said, I don't know what deck would use it effectively. Maybe Duraludon again. Primordial Altar, I think, is a decent stadium. Look at the top card. If they want to keep it there, you keep it there. If not, you discard it. So you can kind of thin through your deck a little bit quicker, which I think is cool. Laverton gets 3 Hisuian Pokemon from the discard to your hand. Not the best. Quadstone, you need to get all 4 at once. If you use 1, heal 10. If you use 4, heal all damage. I just, dude, make it like heal 30. Like, I think heal 30 would still make it like playable, like Quadstone. Just come on. Just come on. Like, heal 10? Come on. Heal 10? Ugh. Serena is one of the best cards, if not the second best card probably in the set. With the effect, discard. You choose one, discard up to 3, and then draw until you have 5 total. You have to discard at least 1. Or just switch opponent's bench view with their active. So it's a boss's orders or refill your hand. So it's a dual effect card that can really get the ball rolling in a lot of matchups. Unidentified Fossil, like we talked about earlier, is here because of the Anorith and all the new guys coming back. Wallace, draw 3, and your opponent draws 1. And if you do, you draw a card, which is pretty funny, but I don't think it's good. Worker is draw 3 and discard a stadium. Okay, just another one of those draw 3 effects. Regen Energy is interesting because you can heal 100 when you attach it to Pokemon V. So this could again be cool in decks like Duraludon, Goodra, these tank decks, just to keep your guy alive a little bit longer. That one extra turn could buy you the whole game. V-Guard Energy is also very strong because you can provide it and get to colorless, and it's 30 less from all of your opponent's Pokemon V attacks. So good against Mew VMAX, good against Arceus. Like, it changes the numbers a little bit. V-Guard Energy does make the math really weird for a lot of decks. So I think V-Guard Energy automatically goes into Lugia and maybe makes an appearance in things like Mew. I don't entirely know. And we've got some full arts here and some vault arts. This is beautiful. This is obviously my chase card. I think it's everyone's chase card. But I think that concludes what's in this set. I don't think I missed anything crazy. We've got some trainer gallery cards here, but I don't think any of them are brand new to us. But that actually does round out this installation of the Silver Tempest set review. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this. Leave a like and a comment below if you guys enjoyed it, and subscribe please as well. I will be doing a buy list for this. It won't be a long buy list, I promise you that. And it will be tomorrow. So be here, check it out. Hope you guys enjoy it. But for now, I'm out. Thank you guys so much. Peace.